Well, hello and very good evening to you, and welcome to the State of Scottish Football there. We are just a couple of seconds late, of course, because me and Graham likes to have a wee chin wag about football and about other things as well, like going to bingo and all that. But we're here now till 7 o'clock. Don't forget you can comment below on the video on the state of the Axum, and also you can subscribe to our channel as well, where you can get fantastic content and comments through the week as well. We are joined by Graham Duffy. How's it going, Graham?
I'm all good, mate. Loving my holidays so far. Still got over just about under 2 weeks to go, so I'm still very much in holiday mode right now.
And I'm not going to ask you what team you support by the looks of your script as well. Maybe you're sitting beside Ron Gordon. I don't know. We'll get to that later as well. They will be joined by Dave Smith. I don't know when he'll be on because he just said in the group chat that he's got exclusive news, and you know, everybody's dying to know what it is, and guess what? He's not here. So maybe it's just making that up. I don't know. So Dave might be here before 7 o'clock tonight. Just to bring you that exclusive news. If not, me and Graham will make something up because we're quite good at that. And I'm a journalist, so I gotta get paid to do that kind of stuff. We'll come back to Dave's news later on in the show if he appears between now and Friday. Let's kick off with the Rangers game last night in the Champions League. Graham's desperate to speak about Hearts. Don't worry, Graham, we'll leave that till 5 to 7, right? No, I'm only kidding. And we'll speak about the Hearts game coming up tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to the game. But starting with the Champions League first leg at Ibrox last night, Rangers 2, PSV 2. Don't know about you, Graham, but I quite enjoyed the game.
It was a good game, entertaining game. I think Rangers are slightly fortunate to be going to Holland with a 2-2 draw. I thought PSV looked a very, very good side. I knew they were anyway, but I thought they looked a very good side last night. I thought De Jong had a really good chance very early on. If he scores that, it could have been a different game. I thought Rangers were under a lot of pressure early on. And then once Sinagri gets that first goal, I think if you're Van Bronckhorst, you're disappointed at the way the 2 goals came about. It's a good ball at the box. It hits Goldson, comes off the back of a PSV player and falls to Sinagri. It's a great finish. And at that point, I thought Rangers were under a lot of pressure. And then they came back into it. You know, it's a very well-worked goal. And Colak, I think it's 4-4 for him now. And apparently, ex-Rangers man Mark Hateley had said after the Union G game, the first game that he lost 2-0, that Colak was a waste of space. He's not looking like that. He's not looking like that now. I think he looks a very, very good player. And then, you know, second half, again, I thought PSV looked a very, very good side, really good going forwards. And then Rangers get a really daft goal. I mean, what Benitez is doing in the goal, I do not know. It's a horrendous mistake. Tom Lawrence's strike isn't particularly difficult to deal with. Now, I don't know if the goalkeeper is thinking it's that easy. He's just going to catch it and roll it out to somebody, and he just gets it all wrong. It's a poor mistake. And then the Ibrox crowd are right behind Rangers, and you think they'll go win this game now. And I had on Monday night, my prediction is 2-1 to Rangers. I was wrong, obviously, but I wasn't far off. And then, again, it's another poor goal for Rangers to lose. You know, it's a free header for the equaliser. It's really poor marking. I don't know if Rangers tried to do zonal marking, but it didn't work again. And even after that, PSV had another couple of chances. So I think on the balance, I don't know if a draw was a fair result. I think both teams had chances. But I really said on Monday that I thought Rangers had to take a lead over there. They've not done that, and you've got to now fancy PSV to be strong favourites over there now.
I don't know who Scott Howe supports, but basically he put a comment saying PSV will finish them off next week. I don't know what team you support, maybe Packet Thistle. By the way, before you comment, I know what team you support. That was just a Wednesday joke. as well. But yeah, it was very kind of end to end at times, Glenn, because Rangers, I thought they started the game off well. Even though they could have been 1-0 down, as they say, in the first couple of minutes, and then as the half went on, PSV grew into the game a wee bit.
Yeah, I thought PSV got stronger as the game went on. I really thought they looked very dangerous going forward. Again, Luke de Jong is a very, very good player, but I think he should have scored. The first 2 minutes, I think he's got to do better with that chance he has. And I thought after that, it was going to be a long night for Rangers. To be fair to them, they came back into it. And as I say, when they go a goal down, they have to bounce back quickly, which they do. It's a very good move and a good finish for Colak. But all through that game, I just felt the game could have gone either way. But again, like I said, if you're Van Bronckhorst, you're going to be really disappointed at the 2 goals you've lost, because to lose 2 goals for set pieces is massively disappointing. But Rangers do have a threat going forward. Again, I thought Matondo was okay in spells, but I think Colak has really proven his worth to Rangers. I think he looks a very good player, but I genuinely think now they've got it all to do over there, because I think PSV could easily finish the job over there.
Now, it doesn't matter about the Rangers game or the PSV game now, because we've got the man himself, Dave Smith, and he basically said to us in the group chat, I've got exclusive news. So with 6 minutes and 30 seconds into the show, it's over to Dave, and hopefully it's very exclusive news for the state of Scottish football.
Well, first and foremost, apologies for my delay into the show because there was technical difficulties. So sincere apologies for that. But yes, exclusive news. Scott Allan is going to be signing for Arbroath this evening. Big news and a really good signing when it eventually goes through for Dick Campbell's side. So I think that's a really good signing for Arbroath. Arbroath will be training tonight, and Scott Allan will be completing the paperwork. But once again, apologies to the ladies and gentlemen listening in tonight, or watching, of course, because there was a few technical difficulties. But I'm back and here with the troops.
Good stuff. Yeah. Let's I know we were talking about the Rangers game there, Dave, before you come on, but because you give us some exclusive news there about Scott Allan, and we all like to hear exclusive news, even if I can get my teeth right, on the skate of Scottish football. Scott Allan, good signing for Arbroath.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, he's obviously a midfielder, and I think that Campbell's been striving for a midfielder of that magnitude, because we obviously Chris Hamilton, and Hamilton's now at Dunfermline, and being honest, having watched Arbroath a few times now, I think they need a midfielder like him, because Hamilton went to Dunfermline, and you can kind of tell that there's been a missing piece of the jigsaw. I still think there's a missing piece in the jigsaw in terms of the forward areas, but in terms of the midfield area, I think that Campbell's got the man he wants, and I think it's a very, very good sign indeed for Arbroath. I mean, obviously the predicaments that he's had recently has kind of put a black mark against him upon certain managers and chairmen in Scottish football. I think in terms of Dick Campbell, he's got a very astute sign in Scott Allan.
Yeah, I saw them last week against Dundee, Graham, and they played well in that game.
Yeah, they did. And, I think they were a bit unlucky to lose 4-2, but, I mean, it's probably a shame that Joel Newbley's not still at Arbroath. Could you imagine Scott Allan threatening both through to Joel Newbley? That would be huge. I am slightly surprised he's gone to Arbroath. I think, Arbroath are a good club, but I think Scott Allan could still play in the Premier League for maybe a team at the lower end of the division. So I am a little bit surprised he's gone to Arbroath, but it's a very good signing for them.
Okay, let's go back to what we were talking about, from Arbroath to Ibrox. I don't know if you saw what I did there. Thanks, Dave. I enjoyed that as well, from Arbroath to Ibrox. I'll just say that again. So, Dave, what was your take on the game last night? Because me and Graham was just talking about it, and I quite enjoyed last night's game. It was a bit of kind of end-to-end times.
Don't worry, despite the technical difficulties, I heard every word you said, so it's okay. I'm very much still inclined with this show. In terms of the game, I thought it was a very enthralling game of football. Two sides that are obviously striving for Champions League football. There's obviously a 30 million plus windfall attached to this, and whoever comes out at the top will obviously be great servants in the Champions League. But Rangers, I thought the they played well in spells. Giovanni was asked after the game by a journalist about not starting halves very well. I can understand, justify why that question's been asked, but in terms of Rangers, I thought they did okay. The draw is not the end of the world by any stretch of imagination. They could always go home and get a result next week. In terms of Rangers, obviously, they've shown a mentality and they've shown how they can be renowned for playing strong football in Europe, and that was proven last season. It's proven again yesterday evening. And I mean, the Colak, I thought he led the line really, really well defensively. A little bit of improvements. I noticed Ally McCoist is calling for Leon Balgood to sign on at Ibrox, and I can thoroughly understand and justify why Ally McCoist has got that opinion. And what I will say is, what a horrendous howler by the PSV goalie to make it 2-1 Rangers. That was horrendous. And I loved Ally McCoist when he said nuclear. That struck me very much. Nuclear is obviously a big word when it comes to brutality and striking and all these powerful words you hear. But I enjoyed Ally McCoist's terminology of nuclear last night. That was for sure.
Graham, I was going to ask you about John McLaughlin. He pulled off some saves last night. Do you think that some Rangers fans and some people in the media has got a bit of humble pie on their face? Because I remember speaking to you after the first game against USG, and basically McLaughlin saved them from getting beat 3-0.
Yeah, he has. He is a good goalkeeper. He is a very good goalkeeper, experienced, and he's a good goalkeeper. Again, I was maybe a bit surprised that McGregor didn't start, but McLaughlin's more than earned his place, and I think at the moment he looks like the number one right now. And you know, there are times he does make mistakes, but at the moment he's not making a lot of them. And again, last night near the end, he comes out and makes a very good save near the end of the game to keep it at 2-2. So he is certainly earning his first team place at the moment. I don't know what that means for Callum McGregor. Would he come in next week? Probably not, now that McLaughlin's playing so well, but McLaughlin's earned his place, and he is a very good goalkeeper, so it's no surprise that he's doing well.
I know the season started now, Dave, but I don't think it's I think it's the wrong time to change your goalkeeper when the season's underway. Okay, it's maybe 4 or 5 games for Rangers, but it's still kind of like underway. Or maybe McGregor is going to play the League Cup games.
I think it's healthy having that level of competition, Michael. I think it's healthy in that regard, because obviously John McLaughlin's an astute goalkeeper within himself, but I think having an established goalkeeper now, McGregor, can only be a positive for John McLaughlin, because it makes sure that he's on his game all the time, and any doubt or any calamities or any poor performances is dropped. Obviously, the poor performance John McLaughlin against USG, but he bounced back very well last Tuesday with an accomplished performance. And then last night, obviously, we couldn't do too much about the PSV goals, in all honesty, but in terms of John McLaughlin, he's obviously been renowned for being a big club's hearts and a big club in Scottish football terms, for the one of the big club in England, despite the predicaments they've set themselves over the last few years. Glad to see Sunderland back in the spotlight again, obviously through Alex Neil, a fellow Scotsman. I hope you understand what I did there, Michael. But John McLaughlin, fantastic goalkeeper, and obviously he's been within the periphery of the first team over the last few years in terms of sitting on the bench and having to warm the bench. And it's not ideal, but he's making the number one jersey his own now, and here's hoping he can continue some fine performances for Rangers, especially in the European trail, because he thoroughly deserves it. And Graham will be better equipped to answer this question, but for Hearts, do you see the qualities that he possesses on a regular basis for Rangers and for Hearts?
100%. It was great when he was at Hearts. Probably one of our better goalkeepers for a number of years, after Craig Gordon, of course. But yeah, he's a very experienced keeper. He very rarely made mistakes for us. He was a talker. He was good in his box. Maybe not great with his feet, but he did what a goalkeeper needs to do. He made saves, and it's been a while since we had that, since Craig Gordon came back, like Joel Pereira and Zlamal and Colin Doyle. So yeah, I really like John McLaughlin, and it's no surprise that he has done well at Rangers, but I am still surprised that McGregor isn't the number one at the moment. But McLaughlin's a very experienced goalkeeper.
Another quote from Gio's press conference last night was he said he was happy with his performance and everything to to play for in the second game. And to be honest, Graham, when you lose a goal with maybe 10 minutes to go, and you see the manager after the game and in the press conference on the telly, usually they are kind of like a bit downbeat. But I think he was quite positive, and because it's another game that's Wednesday, it's everything to play for next week.
Yeah, I think he has to be positive. He has to show that bit of positivity, and there are decent signs in that Rangers team that they do play some decent football. Maybe not as good as Celtic do, but they do play decent football at times. And that first goal yesterday, it was a very good move. But my worry would be for them defensively. I don't think, for me at the moment, that James Sands looks particularly impressive at centre-back. I can understand where Alan McCoy is coming from about maybe bringing Leon Balogun back. John Souttar still isn't back yet. I think they do lack a bit of presence at the back. Connor Golson's decent, but they lack somebody else beside him. But I think they can go to PSV and they can cause them problems. But I just think the way that PSV played last night, they moved the ball about with zip and energy. They created problems, unlike what Union SG did at Ibrox. So I just think that second leg is going to be absolutely huge. And at the moment, you have to fancy PSV. But again, before we came on air, there was a breaking news that James Tavernier has signed a new long-term deal at Rangers. And I think that's a massive thing for Rangers as well.
Yeah, that's a big boost for Rangers, especially ahead of going to PSV next Wednesday, but also going to Edinburgh on Saturday to play Hibs. Dave?
Yeah, I was busy having Pete signing deal with phone calls from the press, and so that's why I didn't get that James Tavernier news. So thank you very much for that again, much appreciated. But it's a big week coming up for Rangers, there's no doubt about that, Michael. They'll obviously go to Hibs on Saturday. Hibs side at got a good win at St Johnstone. Got a late level with Hearts through the Martin Boyle show, and then we're disappointed at the weekend at Livingston. But I just want to throw a state of Scottish curveball, not a state of Scottish football, a state of Scottish curveball here. Do you think Colak is better than Morelos? Because I think I've seen enough evidence to suggest that Colak offers a lot more work rate, a lot more energy, and a lot more enthusiasm than Morelos does. I don't know if it's because Morelos is injured at this precise moment in time, or because Morelos is not hitting the goal trail as much as he used to. But I just think Colak offers a lot more energy, and he offers so much to the way Rangers play. And I thought he was man of the match for Rangers last night.
Yeah, I was saying to Michael before you came on air that apparently a couple of weeks ago, Mark Hateley had said in the first Union SG game that Colak was a waste of space, and he's now got 4 and 4. I think he's proven his worth, and I think at the moment, I think he is better than Morelos. I think he's shown exactly what you said. The work rate, his finishing looks very impressive. He's strong. He can hold the ball up. He's got a bit of pace about him. I think he's got everything right now. It's still early in the season. Can he carry that on? There's every possibility he can. And I think Saturday will be a massive game. But at the moment, I think what I've seen of Colak, he looks a very, very good player at the moment.
Because I think he showed last night how it was his best Rangers game since signing. And that was a sentiment and knowledge by Kenny Miller as well. I noticed in BT Sport, and just the way he got about, his finishing, his ability within the 6-yard area can't be undermined as far as I'm concerned. And he offers something completely different. He's very good in the high press. He's very good when it comes to the latter end of the pitch, something that Morelos does do to an extent, but Morelos doesn't work the proximities that Colak does, in my honest opinion. And one thing is, another thing that I'm questioning at this precise moment in time is whether Morelos is capable of playing in the second leg in Holland. Now, obviously, Morelos has had his injury recently, but the fact that he's hardly been playing, I think, raises a lot of questions in people's minds. And maybe could be a good thing that he's not playing a lot recently, because obviously it could preserve energy and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time as well, it'll be interesting to see how they play over in Eindhoven. Morelos would be ideal, I think, if Rangers were to play a counter-attacking style football, because it'll be a different ball game altogether. It'll be a different kettle of fish in Eindhoven next Wednesday.
Here's a question for you, right? You've asked if do you think Colak's a better player, which I think at the moment he is. Do you think Colak is a better finisher than Morelos? Because at times I think Morelos needs about 4 or 5 chances to score, and I don't get that impression with Colak.
I get where you're coming from. In terms of, I think they're both similar strikers in that specific area of the park. But I think Colak offers a lot more when it comes to rolling his heart, work rate, enthusiasm, and then obviously all that graft and all that nucleus about him is proof in the pudding when it comes to scoring goals. And I think you'll see come time he will add more goals to his Rangers CV. It's just about, obviously, he's just in the door at Ibrox, whilst Morelos, you can understand, and I think it's justified that there's a bit of a pressure tag for him, just in the sense of Morelos has been at the club for 4 or 5 years now. He has worked under different managers like Gerrard and other managers, but I think Morelos has been in there for a long time. He knows the cohesion, he knows the nucleus of that Rangers side, and you'd be expecting him to have a lot more of an experience about him. You'd expect him to have an experience there. He's obviously matured from his early misdemeanours at Rangers, and you'd be expecting him to kick on now. And the fact that he's hardly playing does ask a lot of questions.
I think for me, Graham, if you've asked me the question about Colak and Morelos, I think it's comes down to fitness. I don't know if you guys or anybody in the comments noticed that when I've seen Morelos playing football this season, coming off the bench and all that, to me, I think he's actually put on a bit of weight. And, you know, if he wants to be the number one striker at Ibrox or any other big team, you know what to do, you know, get working on the training field. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Morelos needs about 4 or 5 chances just to put the ball in the net, you know, as well. But no, so that'll be an interesting kind of like battle between Colak and Morelos. Who's like the number one striker at the club? But for me at the moment, I might have to come down to Colak, you know. Okay, so keep your comments coming in, and we've got lots of comments here, and we've got the Barkas fan club is in tonight because they didn't realise that the Barkas are signed for PSV. So there you go. And before anybody comments on that, no, he hasn't signed for PSV. So let's go on to Kieran Tierney. I didn't know much about the story. I was trying to look up today, Dave, about he had a freak accident in the shower.
Yeah, it was in the Times, Michael. It was in the Times. There's an article from Michael Grant, fantastic journalist Michael Grant, and it seemed. Do you know the Amazon documentary they had, All or Nothing Arsenal?
Oh yeah, Arsenal, yeah.
It was on that seemingly, and there was an incident involving not an incident. Incident's not completely the wrong word here. There was a freak accident in the shower with Tierney, and he went and did fitness work. He went and did training work, and it was after both of those incidents specifically that they picked up the injury. Obviously, was out for a sustained period, which obviously affected his Arsenal credentials, but most importantly, Scotland credentials, especially Scotland having an important game against Ukraine back in June there. And let's be honest, looking back at it now with reflection, obviously we missed Tierney in that game in question against Ukraine in November, just in terms of his ability to get up the park, his ability to play the ball, his ball playing skills, everything that's attached to Kieran Tierney. So that was a massive miss, and the doctors thoroughly acknowledged on that documentary on Amazon about how the situation could have been dealt with better. So from both counts, a situation that could easily have been avoided. And hopefully Kieran Tierney is back up and running very, very soon.
Yeah, I must admit, Graham, like I saw that on Amazon the other night. I've not had a chance to watch it yet. I've had there's a lot of kind of like documentaries about English football. It would be good to see a documentary about Scottish football. I think the latest documentary was about your beloved Hearts a few years ago. And all that.
Sorry, Michael. There's one coming up on Fort William, just to let you know. There's a documentary coming up. I'm waiting to leave Fort William Football Club. There you go.
Yeah, the second one, because it was on before, but I think it's like the worst team ever. They branded it on the BBC, so it'd be good to watch that. But good to pick that there's no more documentaries on Scottish football, Glenn.
Yeah, I mean, to call Fort William the worst team is a bit harsh. I mean, you've still got Hibs in there, so I mean, come on. Apologies for any Hibs fans watching, but I couldn't resist. Come on, I'm a Jambo, I couldn't resist. No, it'd be great to see a few more of them on. But in terms of Kieran Tierney, I mean, he signed for Arsenal in 2019 and he's only played 66 games. I think he is Arsenal are doing well at the moment, but he has been a massive miss. And Dave's right. He's been a huge miss for Scotland. Mm-hmm. I mean, you really wouldn't think that one player would make such a massive difference, but Kieran Tierney does. And it showed in the Scotland games that he missed, that we really missed him. His presence, his natural leadership, his drive to go forward. I think we've missed him so badly. So I think we need to get him back. But obviously, Arsenal need to get him back first and foremost. But he has been a massive, massive miss. And hopefully he gets back to something like his best form soon, because he is such a huge, huge player for Arsenal and mainly for Scotland.
Now, I don't want Dave to be a bit upset here, right? Because I know that Dave is writing his book at the moment, his autobiography. If I can say that again, you know. But Kieran Tierney has beat you, because today he's brought a book, and his book is called The Making of the Captain. So,
congratulations to Kieran Tierney.
Did I see Kieran Tierney? I meant Callum McGregor.
Oh, Callum McGregor, beg your pardon. Well, congratulations to Callum McGregor, sorry. Not fantastic for Callum McGregor to get his autobiography out there. Yeah, you did mention Kieran Tierney, Michael, but it's okay. We're good pals, so I'll let you off.
I can't believe that. I'm just going to ask the boss, can we scatter debt? Can we take that to VAR? No. He said no. Sorry. Yeah, Callum McGregor.
I just can't wait for the Lee Griffiths autobiography. I'll be watching that one.
Well, funnily enough, Michael mentioned weight with Alfredo Morelos. Weight is a terminology that's attached to Lee Griffiths normally, not Alfredo Morelos.
Yeah.
I'm not believing for 1 minute that Lee Griffiths is in the gym boxing, by the way. He's maybe made, I can understand he's maybe in once or twice a week, but I'm not believing that for 1 minute. He's in 6 times a week. I'll tell you why I'm thinking that. I'm in the boxing gym twice a week. We'll go for twice a week. I'm in the boxing gym twice a week, and God, it's strenuous.
Anyway, back to Callum McGregor's book. No, they're still checking that on VAR, by the way. It will be Madden, so we might be here till next week. Brilliant achievement for Callum McGregor, not Kieran Tierney. Not only to bring it out a book, but he's going to be a wonderful captain for years to come, Graham.
100%. I mean, I think when he stepped up to take over Scott Brown, it was going to be a hard role, because Scott Brown was such a great leader for Celtic, but McGregor's taken that role on very well. He slotted him with ease, and you can see him on the pitch. He's a proper captain. He's a real leader. So fair play to him for bringing out a book, and I think there's no doubt he's a great, great captain for not just Celtic, but I think he would also be a very good captain for Scotland. Obviously, Andy Robertson's got that now, but I think he'd be a great captain for Scotland. But he's just a very, very good player as well. And I think you can see that the Celtic players around him actually follow his lead. And that's what you want when you're a captain. You want your players to follow what you're going to do on the pitch, and they all do that. So fair play to him.
I think we've got the Dave Smith fan club in tonight, or maybe it's his cousin or his brother. But Scott Howe basically says, I want a signed copy of Big Dave's book. And he says, the love and life of Big Dave is my story. So there you go.
Me and Scott share chips and cheese together, mate.
All right, so you better get writing the book very soon. And Kieran Tierney might bring out a book as well. There you go. I'm a boo boo. So good. Stephen Thompson as well last week. Big shout out to Tomo. I know he watches the show. But I was watching this press conference today, McGregor, Dave, and he says that they were asking him about who he fancies to get in the Champions League, and he says Real Madrid.
Was that a specific team, or?
Yeah, that was the team, yeah.
Okay. Well, of course, Real Madrid's a fantastic side, and if they were to come and play Celtic, it would be a fantastic spectacle and a fantastic occasion for Celtic. I mean, it's going to be a big season for Ange Postecoglou in the Champions League, because Celtic haven't been in Champions League automatic stages for a very long time now. They've obviously been in the periphery of European football, but have failed at any possible opportunity, whether it's obviously the qualifying stages or maybe we got to the last 16 Europa League, such as a couple of seasons ago, but crashed out, or Conference League. It's maybe not went as well as they've perceived it to be. And the fact that they're in the Champions League, I think that's a good thing for Scottish football, because I don't know if you listened to Jason Cundy's thing on TalkSport today. I didn't. I thought Jason Cundy was, I don't want to say embarrassing, but I felt he was. I felt like he left a lot to be desired, in all honesty, because when you look at Cundy, he's a man that's English. He's a man that knows about English football. He has no inside knowledge whatsoever of Scottish football. And for me, I thought Jason Cundy's comments saying, "David, your disgrace," was pitiful, to say the least. And I felt he could have been a little bit better with the way he was brandishing about his terminology of events. So the Motherwell fan, David, had every right to go on TalkSport and support Rangers, despite being a Motherwell fan. Obviously, supporting a fellow Scottish club and the European exploits is everybody's coming to a thoroughly acknowledge that, but the same token as well, there is the minority, or there is the people that will go and support their fellow teams in Europe. And I think it's a great thing for Scottish football that we've got Celtic and Rangers. Well, Celtic definitely, and Rangers potentially in the group stages of the Champions League. And we've obviously got Hearts guaranteed European football, irrespective of what happens over the next 2 phases as well. So I think Scottish football gets a bad name, but I think the fact we've potentially we've definitely got 3 teams guaranteed in European football this season. I think it's a good thing for Scottish football.
Giakoumakis is not going anywhere, Graham. Is that bad news to all the other teams in the top flight football?
Yeah, just to mention what Dave said there, Jason Cundy has been a bit kind to him. Jason Cundy doesn't even know about English football. The guy's a bellend. He knows nothing. They listen to Jason Cundy about anything that they give up watching football.
There you go. #bellend. Okay.
But no, I think, to be fair, Giakoumakis has done very well. You know, he scored 17 goals last season. He didn't get off to the best start with Celtic. I think he missed that penalty last season against Livingston, one of the first games. But to be fair, he's been excellent. You know, you talk about the Celtic looking for another forward. They've got Maeda, they've got Giakoumakis, they've got Kyogo. But I think Giakoumakis has been excellent for Celtic. And look at the goal he scored last week. A fantastic overhead kick, a nutmegged overhead kick. Believe me, if I tried that, I'd end up breaking my back or something, so fair play. But he's been brilliant. So I think, it would strike fear into most teams in Scotland that he's staying. And why would you want to get rid of him? Seriously, he's been so impressive for Celtic, and I think he will only get better. He's now learning all about Scottish football. He'll be a lot better for it this season. So you wouldn't want to get rid of him.
Okay, so let's go on to another big game tomorrow night. I don't know who's exactly playing tomorrow night. I think it's Maryhill against Saltcoats in the League Cup Junior Football. But also we've got another game as well, Graham. And I better speak about Hearts, because you've been texting me non-stop for the past 20 minutes and got to hurry up, man, and speak about the game. So I'm not going to speak about the game for another 10 minutes yet. So now I'm only kidding. At 6 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night, Graham, I was looking Zurich against Hearts. I think that's covered on the BBC Scotland channel. I saw during the week. What's your thoughts on this game, Graham? Do you think it's obviously it's going to be a very difficult game for Hearts tomorrow night, and we'll get into it, but are you glad that the first game is away from home so that you know what to do next week at home?
100%. The game's been played in St. Gallen, and from what I saw earlier, I saw a tweet from FC Zurich. They're only expecting between 6,000 and 7,000 fans at that stadium, which holds 19,000, bizarrely. And there's just over 1,000 Jambos going there, although I think by the looks of it, there might be more than that, to be fair. And you might get a special appearance for Ron Gordon. You never know. But no, I'm delighted the first leg's away. It would be great to get the fans back at Tynecastle, hopefully still on the tie. Please, Hearts, do not do it on the night and then get hammered here. I don't think that'll happen, but it's a massive game. I mean, Zurich are the Swiss champions, but they've not had a great start. 5 games in, they've not won yet. They've drawn 2 and lost 3. but they are still the Swiss champions. It's a difficult game. And I saw Robbie today was talking about going there with attacking intent. I hope he's true to that, because I think Shankland, Mackay, Forrest could have big games tomorrow. If we can get away from there with any kind of win, or even like a narrow defeat to get back to Tynecastle, I'll take that. But it will be a massive game. You know, Zurich have got a guy in their team, Wilfred Ntonto. He's only 18, but he's very highly rated. He's been talked about for Leeds United and Feyenoord and a few other clubs. We have to be wary of him, but this is a big game for Hearts. We've not been in Europe since 2016 when we got knocked out by the Maltese giants, Barkakara. So, yeah, this is a big game for Robbie. He needs to go there and get a decent result, but I'm looking forward to getting us back in Europe again. And like you said earlier in the show, whatever happens, we're going to have group stage football this season, no matter what happens, but I want to get Europa League if we can.
Dave, do you think this game's coming at a good time for Hearts? Because obviously I'm not too up on my football out that kind of way. But Zurich has not made a brilliant start to the domestic season. So do you think this is a good do you think this is a good chance for Hearts to get in there tomorrow night?
Before I answer your question, Mike, I'm very surprised to find that Ron Gordon is sleeping on this photo. And I'm surprised that, see, whenever you go to Tenerife or Ibiza or Benidorm or all these holiday destinations, there's a lot of funny stuff or banter stuff where banter happens. I'm surprised there hasn't been any drawings in Ron Gordon's face, just to give you a wee example there. I'd have been doing exactly that had I been a Hearts fan in that fight. So that's for sure. Right, back onto the game. I think it's a great opportunity for Hearts. I think I was speaking to Graham on this locker room Indie Live on Sunday, and I was telling them about how Zurich drew with Winterfell, what a 1-1, and I didn't know much about that Winterfell team. And that just goes to show you, because Zurich have started their season, but they haven't started well, as you rightly alluded to there. And I mean, they need a big improvement in the fast. And I think this is an opportunity. If I was Robbie Nielsen, I think the perfect assignment for me would be getting a draw tomorrow night, or even a win. A win would be a massive bonus, of course, but getting a result of some magnitude. And then next Thursday, going and getting a win at Tynecastle. You'll have the Jambo supporters behind you. It'll be a sellout at Tynecastle. We all know when you go to Tynecastle, it's a different atmosphere. It's hostile, but it's hostile in a good way from a Hearts point of view. And it's obviously going to be good for Hearts in terms of trying to get themselves into Europa League. If they reach the Europa League, it would be a sensational achievement for Robbie Nielsen's side, because you'd have some fantastic sides coming to Edinburgh, but at the same token, the Hearts fans would have some terrific trips over. I remember from an Aberdeen point of view with Bayern Munich, I know this is obviously 2007-2008 season, I think it was, but with Bayern Munich, Copenhagen, Atletico Madrid. Now, for Copenhagen, you're speaking about 2 out of the 3 sides there who are Champions League formidable sides there. And it goes to show you how quality Europa League is. Irrespective, if Hearts reach the Europa Conference League, they've still got some quality sides in there. I didn't actually realise that West Ham are going to be in the Europa Conference League, provided they beat Victoria tomorrow night. So there's still some quality teams in the Europa Conference League as well. Let's not forget, Roma beat Feyenoord in terms of winning the Conference League back in May. So there's a lot of quality, and Hearts should be flourishing what they've achieved, but also striving for more. And Robbie Nielsen's the type of manager that strives for more. And I want to get Graham's opinion on this, but Hearts trained this morning at Rickerton, and then obviously flew over this afternoon, primarily for media reasons, I understand. But do you think that's the right call from Robbie?
I think it was, get a bit of training, at Rickerton before you go over. I think that's fine. I don't mind that. What I am surprised about is the fact that the stadium we're only going to have about, like I said, 6,000 and 7,000 fans in that stadium. So the atmosphere is not going to be great. And I think the Hearts fans that are going over there will have to try and generate some of that themselves. But I think going over there now, I don't have a problem with that. I think it's a good idea. Get the guys training in the morning and then get over there and, have a look at your accommodation, have a look at the pitch you're going to be playing on, because I don't know what it's like. But I just think tomorrow is going to be such a massive, massive night for Hearts. And I think Dave's right. If we can get a draw over there, that's fine. I would love to win. But just what I would say is just don't get... If we get beat 2 or 3, it'll be a very difficult game. We have to keep ourselves in the tie going back to Tynecastle. That's my main worry, is to go over there and don't get hammered.
Sorry, Michael. Alan Boyne makes the point here. The game is not in Zurich. Correct. It's at St Gallen's ground tomorrow, just an hour away from Zurich, I'm led to believe. So the game is there. But Graham, as long as it's not the Dundee United fan going, come on, we'll be absolutely fine.
Well, maybe wrong, Gordon. We'll do that tomorrow night in the centre circle. Come on, then, let's be having you. There's been some comments about the game. One each, and our pal Scott, he must have been the man of the match so far, because I think he's commented about 20 times already. So thanks, Scott. Thanks for enjoying the show. 2 each tomorrow night. I'm going to put my neck on the line and say Graham will love me for this one. 2-1 Hearts. But obviously, going back to the game tomorrow night, Zurich will be still licking their wounds, Graham, because they won the Champions League, and they get beat off of a team that they beat Celtic a few years ago, going by the name of Carrier-Bag. By 5-4 on aggregate. So they'll be still looking for some kind of European football.
They will, and ironically, they've got an ex-Hearts player in their team, Donis Avdiay, who came to Tynecastle under Daniel Stendhal, saying that he'd scored everywhere he'd been, apart from at Hearts. So it's no doubt he'll be up for this tomorrow. He'll guaranteed to score now. That's just a guarantee. But they have had a very poor start. As I said, they've played 5, they've not won yet, so they had a poor start, but they are still the Swiss champions. We've got to be very cautious tomorrow, but if we can I think the big players for me tomorrow, as always, Craig Gordon. I think he could be very busy. But again, Barry Mackay, if he can replicate the form he showed so far, we've got a really good chance. And again, if we can get the service to Lawrence Shankland, he can maybe stick a couple away tomorrow. So we've got players that can potentially score for us tomorrow, but we've got to keep the ball at the net at the other end. I think Kai Ribbles has been a very good signing so far. I think Kay Calkett has been really good since he came back. So we've got decent players there. But I just think, again, Craig Gordon could be in for a very busy night tomorrow.
And also, Graham, as well, I was doing my homework, done my homework about the show. First time in my life, by the way. Sorry if my school teachers are watching this program. I always do my homework. But they actually won the title last season by 16 points. That's some achievement.
It is, but then I don't know if that shows how poor the Swiss league is. I don't really know, because I don't know about the Swiss league. But yes, listen, if you win the title, it's still a title race is a title race. So I just don't know how good the Swiss league is. I mean, I watched them at Euros and they weren't, Switzerland weren't particularly great at the Euros. So it will be a difficult game tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. But I'm pretty sure that Robbie's done his homework. He knows what to expect. He'll know the way they play. We just have to come out with that attacking intent, as Robbie has spoke about, and we have to have a goal. But don't go too gung-ho, because we've got the second leg to come. So there's no need to go and try and win the game tomorrow. It'd be nice to come back with a victory, but we just need to make sure that it's set up for that second leg at Tynecastle with the crowd behind us next week. That's the most important thing. Just come back there with a positive result.
And also, you've got a few big games coming up, Graham. Not only tomorrow night, you're playing Zurich, and that Thursday night as well. But Sunday afternoon, you've got the small matter of going to the east, going to Glasgow.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this. Now, I've had this thought in my head right now. I don't expect anything for Celtic. Anything you get for there's a bonus. For me, the Zurich game the week after is the bigger game. So my question would be to both of you, if you are Robbie Nielsen, would you be resting players for Sunday, i.e., would you be taking out the likes of Craig Gordon, Shankland, Mackay, and making sure that they're fresh and ready for the Zurich game the week after?
Dave. Oh, Dave is on mute, I think.
All right, that's the first one tonight. I would be changing a few players if I was Robbie, but ultimately, Graham, I think the league's the bread and butter. As much as Thursday night will be a massive game in the history of Hartlepool Football Club, I do think the league is the bread and butter for Robbie Nielsen and Hearts. And I think replicating the heroics of last season when Hearts finished third, I think has to be objective again this season. And as much as Celtic will be a hard game, there's not going to be the terminology that season isn't going to be defined in games against Celtic and Rangers. Hearts have the ambition, and Joe Savage certainly has the ambition of going to games against Celtic and Rangers with no fear. Joe Savage doesn't fear whatsoever. Neither Robbie Nielsen. They want to go to Glasgow and get results, and ultimately it'll be a case of trying to adapt and try to understand the both of them. It'll be try to get a result of some magnitude tomorrow night, and then try to get a result of some magnitude Sunday against Celtic as well. Obviously, there will be probably 2 or 3 changes, I would think. I can't see Robbie changing it far too much.
Michael?
How close of a signing would be Lawrence Shankland, Graham? Because, I've always liked Shankland as well when he was at United, but I think he will thrive in this kind of a big game like this tomorrow night before going to Celtic Park on Sunday, because to me that he's a big time player, and that's what you want. And you mentioned about Craig Gordon as well, of course.
Oh, Shankland's massive. I mean, he's the signing that I was most excited about. He's the natural goal scorer that we've lacked for a long time. I've said before, I really like Liam Boyce, but I think he's better as a number 10 right now. I think Shankland's the ideal player for us, and it showed the last 2 games he's played. The finishing against Hibs and the finishing against United last week, he gets across the penalty box, that front post, and finishes against United. And then the Hibs goal, it's a great touch and finish. I think he's huge, and I think if he gets chances, he will score goals. And he's going to have that service from the likes of Barry Mackay, from Alan Forrest, from like Liam Boyce. So I think he's going to be huge tomorrow. And if he can get the service, I think he will score goals for us. There's no doubt about that. So he is huge. The midfield, I think I know my team tomorrow already, but for me, I think Peter Haring will come back in. He's been great for us recently. I think we've missed him and he's not played. And again, I think Stephen Kingsley, if he's fit, he comes straight back into that team. And I think Hearts will go 3 at the back tomorrow. So we've got players there that are going to be really experienced. And I mean, tomorrow it's huge. It really is. I'm going out to watch the game tomorrow. So I'll be in around Gorgie watching the game tomorrow. I can't wait. And I hope by 7 o'clock I'll be celebrating or hopefully not commiserating.
Don't forget that we have got a special programme tomorrow night, live from not Zurich, but where the game's taking place. And Ron Gordon will be our commentator over there, and there'll be summarising from Graham at the Edinburgh Festival. So watch out for that tomorrow night. And before anybody says anything, no, that was just a joke. We're not on tomorrow night, obviously. But what was Ron Gordon doing on that flight, Dave?
Good question. Maybe visiting UEFA headquarters, but that would seem awkward considering how Hearts are in the same country at exactly the same time. He's obviously from America, so unless it was a flight in which there was a connection, God knows. Anyway, obviously that's something for the scrapbook for Hearts fans. Hibs fans will be annoyed, fragilitated, and F-offed. I wasn't going to say the F word there.
Right, okay, yeah. I think we get that. I think we get what you were trying to say there, Dave. I know Graham's looking at me funny to say what was he saying there? Don't worry, Graham. I'll tell you after the show. But yeah, I can't tell you that now. I'll wait till we're off here, right, mate, and I'll tell you. But so I think Graham, you enjoyed seeing Mr. Gordon on the flight, and I hope he put on a seatbelt.
Do you know what? To be honest, see, at first I thought it was a fake. I didn't actually think it was real. I thought it was like somebody else. And then when you see it, it's like, oh, there's Ron Gordon. Maybe just watches what you did. Football was like for a big team, because he's not used to that at Hibs, let's be honest. Sorry, my second dig. I know I can't help it.
Have you been waiting on that old day to see that, Graham? Yeah.
Pretty much. But listen, I hope he comes back singing the Gorgie Boys are going to Europe. You never know. But listen, he's on a holiday. He's enjoying himself with a group of very happy Hearts fans. So fair play. It was good to see him looking so happy in his surroundings.
Okay, score prediction for tomorrow night. We'll go to the big jambo last, right? We'll keep them in suspense. Dave.
2-1 Hearts.
2-1 Hearts. You're trying to copy me, like, yeah. You think it's like 4-1 or, whatever. Yeah, I'll let you away with that, dude. Graham.
Well, I'm clearly going to go 6-0 to Hearts. I'm going to Lauren Shanklin to score all 6. No, I'm going to say, this is a hard one. I'm going to say Zurich 1, Hearts 1. I think it'll be a draw.
Not bad. Yeah. I think all the scores that we predicted, all the scores that Graham predicted and Dave copied me, went well. So we'll see who's right by tomorrow night. I want to finish up on a story that Mr. Colin Watt put in the group chat about Morton, and I can't. I've not got my phone in front of me because I'm a professional. It's not it's not in here at the moment. Can somebody remind me of the guy's name? But
it's Alexander Easdale. He's away to leave Morton in order to go into his family business now. Just for clarification to the viewers out there, the family of Alexander Easdale have put money into Morton, but to my understanding, through Greenick sources that we can't name, Alexander Easdale's family have put in money into Greenick Morton primarily so Alexander Easdale can play for Greenick Morton. Now, whether that family will continue to pump money into the Greenick side moving forward, time will tell. I hope they've still got that million sweets that they have in Greenock because they've been a terrific sponsor for the football club. But apart from that, Easdale is leaving football in order to concentrate on his family business. Now, I'm presuming he'll still play football, but he'll also go part-time.
What do you think of that, Graham? Somebody giving up football to help out their family. I don't know about you, but I've never heard of that before.
It's a big decision, especially at only 22 years old. He's not really been around that long, but fair play to him. If that's what he wants to do with his life, then that's fine. But to give up your footballing career, it's a big, big decision. It's not like he's been injured and had to retire. He's done it on his own accord, so fair play to him. And I went on Twitter earlier on this afternoon, and loads of comments on the Morton Twitter feed were just, sign a striker, sign a striker. What are you doing? Sign a striker. So clearly Morton fans are not particularly happy about it, but it's a big decision for a young man to make to go and join the family business. But fair play to him. I don't know if he'll ever go back to football. Maybe not likely, but he is still young, so you never know.
Yeah. Good luck him. Whatever he does, if he comes back to football, because it basically 22, Graham. I mean, that's just at the beginning of his career.
It is, and it's a shame that he's kind of left it. But has he fallen out of love with footballers or something else? I mean, I don't know what his family does. I've got no idea. But to go and join the family business at 22-year-old and give up a footballing career, it's a huge decision. But massive respect to him. And if he does go back to football again, fair enough. But it's a huge call at that young age.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't like the pies down in Capital. I'm not sure about that one. Let's go back to a subject that Dave brought up a wee bit, that he was listening to Talk Sport, and there was a certain pundit on there. We spoke about this a few times, guys, and I don't think it'll be the last time we will speak about this this season or any season on this Get a Scottish Football. English pundits, English pundits, not given the respect to Scottish football, Graham.
It's always been the same. I mean, you just go back to the Euros and you look at the England-Scotland game, and it wasn't, well played to Scotland, it was a great performance of Scotland. It was, how bad were England? They couldn't give a monkeys about Scotland or Scottish football. They don't care, apart from Celtic and Rangers, and even then, they still don't care. And pundits, I'll use the term loosely because Jason Cundy is not a pundit, he's just a fool, to be honest. I don't like the guy at all. And comments like that are just an absolute shambles. A lot of Scottish folk don't care about English football. I do, because I support Liverpool. Not the best to start so far, but I like English football. But listen to some of these pundits, you just think, where are you from? Seriously, what planet are you on? They could not care. I don't think they even know that Hearts are in Europe tomorrow. That's how little they care about Scottish football. I always have found that some English pundits are fine. Some are actually quite fair. But the ones on that Talk Sport, they're absolutely clueless. I only listen to that at times for Alan McCoist, because Alan McCoist does big up Scottish football, but very few other folk do.
David, one way to shut the pundits up, I suppose, is Celtic, Rangers and Hearts in European football this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was on mute there. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, as I alluded to earlier on, we've had a positive start to the season, despite Dundee United and Motherwell embarrassing ourselves. But apart from that, as I said, you've got Celtic, guaranteed Champions League, Rangers, the lowest at this precise moment in time they can go down to is Europa League, massive game on holiday next Wednesday. Hearts, guaranteed European football. They've got a great opportunity to mix it up with the big boys in the Europa League when they go to Zurich over the next 2 Thursdays. Dundee United and Motherwell, as I alluded to, maybe did embarrass themselves. But, I mean, had that happened to had that been a Chelsea or an Arsenal saying that about Spurs, would have been saying exactly the same thing. But there's a difference between English football and Scottish football. English football is far more resources, far more money, far more TV, far more exposure for these clubs. Scotland was striving for everything possible. We were getting a £30 million TV deal, or possible £30 million TV deal, and we're striving for more. We think it's not good enough. And that's where Scottish football's at right now. People are looking at Scottish football and going, oh, such and such isn't good enough. We're getting treated like a laughingstock. It's miserable.
Do you think that, going back on the comment Dave made about the TV deal, and obviously, don't worry, I'm not going to speak about it, Graham, because I know that this is me and your favourite subject, and we've only got about 2 minutes of the show left. But do you think that if they saw more Scottish football on the TV, then they would get slag off some of our football up here in Scotland?
I don't know, because if you're watching like St Johnstone against Motherwell, would you sit and slag that off as a Scottish football fan? Some of us do, but I mean, English football fans don't care about Scottish football no matter what it is. I think they would watch Celtic and Rangers games. You know, they'll sit and watch Celtic v Rangers. They might watch Hibs against Hearts, but after that, they're not interested. You know, they don't care about teams like St Mirren, St Johnstone, Motherwell, all that lot. They don't care. I think it would be great if it was. I said this last week, I think, if they had like every Scottish game on, like on a red button or something, you could just watch any of the games. Would English people watch that? Probably not. But if there's nothing else on, they might. But I just don't think English fans care enough about Scottish football. I like English football because I support somebody that's in English football, but I don't watch English Championship or English League One or League Two. I only watch the Premiership because it's a big league. But I'm not interested in most of the rest of them.
I mean, some of the games are not bad in Scotland. But in saying that, some of the games in England are quite boring to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you get how many games last season, like big English games, like say Chelsea against Tottenham, were really, really boring games, and it's talked about as the best league in the world, and at times it's not.
Okay, shout out to Amy Canavan, because obviously she was former Axum, former state of Scottish football. Now she's in the big time, asking Dick Campbell, Gary Boyer the big questions at Dundee against Arbroath. It shows what can be done with quality. Yeah, I did hear that. I did hear Amy's voice, and it was nice to hear interviewing the managers after the game, and more females in the men games as well. That would help us as well. So well done to Amy. So thanks for joining us on the State of Scottish Football tonight. Good luck to Hearts tomorrow night. We will be back on Friday with more previewing the weekend football. I think it's Mr. Watt at see on Friday night, and I think Mr. Smith might make an appearance with some exclusive news about Susan Boyle has signed for Queen's Park Rangers or something. So good luck to Hearts. Thanks to all your comments tonight, and stay tuned to Axum please subscribe to our channel for fantastic content. We've got football, politics, and music as well. Just hit the subscribe button as well, and make the channel bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, talking about big, I'm out of here now, and I will speak to you soon.